Well, while I drink my coffee today, I'll be answering this question. Do you really need a realtor? Yes or no? If you want to buy or sell a house, do I have to work with a realtor? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to another video. Please subscribe to my channel, leave me a comment, press the like button so I can keep growing this channel and find more people like you. Now, let's just answer the question and get to the point. Do you need a realtor? Yes or no? Before I go into that, I will ask you these questions. Do you really need a barber to get a haircut? Do you need to go to the nail salon to get your nails done? Do you really need to call the lawn guy to do your yard, right? Do you need to call your CPA to do your taxes? That is a good question. Like, do you really need them? Because I mean, you can get your haircut done yourself if you want to, right? You can get the nails done yourself if you wanted to. You can work on your own yard. You can do your own painting around your house. You can do everything yourself if you wanted to. The question should be, do I really know what I'm doing? That is the question. Do you know what you're doing? The other question is, do you want to get help? Which is different, right? The question shouldn't be, do I need a realtor? The question should be, do I know what I'm doing? And do I want to get help? Now, here's how to find out if you need a realtor or not to purchase a home. Let's say you already got pre-approved by a lender and you're pretty much trying to get started on your own, which is, there's nothing wrong with that. But just so you can double check, ask yourself these questions. Okay, do I know how to find out what type of market we are in without a realtor, right? Do I really know how to find out how many months of inventory and how does that affect me? Because that's gonna tell you how much your home finding search is gonna suck or not. Okay, do I really know what type of offers to make according not only to the house, but the market as well? You know, the house, the market, the area, right? Should you approach, let me tell you this, like should you approach a home that's just hit the market 2 days ago the same way you should approach a home that's been on the market for 25 days? I don't know, you tell me, right? Do you know how to find out the expiration date of an offer, right? And how does that affect you? Like, are you giving the seller 24 hours to think about the offer? Or should you just give them 48 or maybe 5 days? I don't know, you tell me. Do you even know how many days is normal for a due diligence period? Should you just ask them for 2 days for the inspection or maybe 7 or 5 or 10? Should you, do you even know the difference? Because I'm telling you this, a lot of buyers ask me this question. Do you even know the difference between down payment and closing costs? That's a big one. People ask me, well, isn't that the same thing? No, it's not the same thing. Do you know the difference between an inspection and an appraisal? Do you know the ins and outs of it? Do you know what happens if you don't like what you see on the inspection results? How to ask for it? How do you negotiate the repairs? Should you ask them to repair it themselves or should you ask them to give you a discount on the price? Or should you just back out of the agreement? Do you know what should happen if, let's say you want to back out of the agreement and you ask them for your earnest money, for your deposit back, and they say no? How do you know that? How do you know if you are entitled to receive your deposit or not? I don't know, you tell me, right? Do you know the difference between an FHA offer, conventional loan offer, and a VA offer, right? Do you know which one is more convenient for you? Do you know the benefits of them for you? I don't know, you tell me, right? Do you need a realtor, yes or no? That's up to you. If you have knowledge about all of that, of course you don't need a realtor. Because why would you need a realtor when you already know all of that, right? You can make wise decisions on your own without needing anybody. Now for sellers, let me just have a sip of this. For sellers, right? Some of you guys want to do for sale by owner and you say, well, I don't really need a realtor. And guess what? If you know what you're doing, perfect. I have zero problems with somebody who actually know what they're doing and they tell me, hey, guess what? I don't need a mechanic because I know how to fix my car. I don't need a barber because I know how to do my haircut. I don't need anybody to help me with my plumbing because I know how to do plumbing stuff, okay? So if you know exactly how to do real estate, then go ahead and do it, right? Now, let's talk about for sale by owner. Some of them, they tell you the first thing, well, I don't need a realtor because we are on a seller's market. And guess what? That is true. And they think they can just do it. And let me tell you this, just because you sold a house in the past doesn't make you an expert in real estate, okay? Just get over it, breathe, just let your ego aside a little bit and say, hey, you know what? I know there's gonna be people that know more than me. And here's why. If you don't know how to price your home accordingly, how to prepare your home for showings, what items to fix before even listing the home, right? What are the things that you should do to your house even before you sell it, right? What are the things that you can upgrade so you can make more money in your home when you sell it? Do you even know how to stage your home in case maybe you have a bunch of stuff, right? Maybe you don't want to have to deal with decluttering your home. Do you even know how to do that? Do you even know how to make a room look bigger? Do you know how the pictures affect the amount of showings that you get? Do you even know how to negotiate when you have a conventional loan offer? Let's say you have multiple offers, right? One of them is conventional, one of them is VA, one of them is FHA. Do you know the difference? Let's say all of them have the same price. All of them are offering you $300,000. Do you know how to identify which one is the better offer if all the numbers are the same? Do you even know how to play with the disclosures in terms of, hey, I'm not going to make a decision until this day? Do you even know how to cause a bidding war so you can maximize the offers that you get? Do you know all of that? Do you know what the options are if the appraisal actually comes in lower than you're selling your home for? Do you know what to do? Do you know how to negotiate that? Do you know what would happen if the buyer tells you that he wants to back out of the agreement? Do you know what your options are? Do you know how to deal with that? Do you know how to deal with a situation where the buyer all of a sudden no longer qualifies, but it took him 5 days to tell you? Do you know what your options are if you find that out last minute? What if 2 days before closing, the buyer tells you that, hey, I don't want to buy it anymore? Do you know what the options are? All right. There's a bunch of questions, guys. You don't need a realtor if you know all of those things. You really don't. I'm telling you. I am a realtor myself. If you know everything about real estate, right? Or not everything, but if you know at least 90% of everything that takes you from point A to point Z on a transaction, you probably don't need a realtor. Now, here's the truth, and I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to agree with me on this. There's nothing wrong with trying to do it on your own. But the thing is, if you don't know what you're doing, just accept it that you don't know what you're doing, right? If you don't value your time more than your own money, that is your problem, honestly. That is a mindset problem. Because and here's why I say this, right? There is people right now that know a lot about real estate. I have a lot of friends who are investors. They've been doing it for 15, 20 years. They are successful at it. They became wealthy people through it, right? So they know the ins and outs of financing, making offers. They know how to find out about the market. They know all of those stuff. And they still choose to work with a realtor. Why? Why would somebody who actually know what they're talking about, they know how to do it, they have done it in the past plenty of time, still choose to work with a realtor? Why? Because they value their time more than money, right? They're wealthy people. They know, hey, I got two options. I either spend all this time trying to set showings, marketing my home, talking on the phone, texting people who want to see my house, reviewing offers, reviewing all those documents, trying to work with the inspector, the appraisal, the earnest money, setting up the closing, the transaction. Okay, do you really want to deal with that? Or would you rather just pay somebody to deal with all of that BS? And that's what we do. We just deal with the BS that people don't want to deal with. That's it, right? If you know how to fix the engine on your car, you have two options. You either do it yourself and spend 3 weeks working on your car, or you can just send it to the mechanic and they get it done in 2 days. That is up to you. There's not a law that says you have to do it. It's up to you. So with that being said, this is my answer. Do you really need a realtor or no? The answer says, I don't know. I don't know if you need it or not, but I'm sure you probably know if you need it by now, okay? So do your diligence, think about it, let your ego aside, and ask yourself if you want to value your time more than your money. And that's it. So see you guys next time.